What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name's Carrie, and today we are revisiting another fountain pen that I've had for years. This is the Parker Duofold Centennial in ivory. This is not the original, because the original was a million years ago, but it has had many redesigns since this. You cannot buy this version anymore. But this is the one that I have. Long story with this one, I was actually lent. Did I just have a voice crack there? I think I just went through puberty. I was actually lent this pen, not this specific pen, but this model from a friend, and I adored it. I loved it so much. I used it pretty much all the time. And then I had to send it back, and I was really sad about it. So I purchased one on my own. And this is it, obviously. And I have since, in the last year or so, actually been trying to sell it. So this is going to be a different years later review. But before we get to why I'm selling it, let me just cover quickly the part of the pen. I do have a full review of this. So do check that out if you want to see super details. But as with most duofolds, you get the little, almost ace of spades at the top with the name Duofold. You have the the clip ring here with their traditional arrow, which is their main thing. Pretty decent tension, 2 gold rings. Then the body of the pen is pretty straight, nothing flashy, and another gold band here. And it's difficult to see, but it does say Parker at the end there. And then just a flat back. Fun fact, no, I did not name my cat Parker after this Parker brand. It potentially could have been in my brain from that, but it was just a sheer coincidence. I do love the design of the nib. It's an 18 karat gold nib. This is a medium nib, as you can see on that M there on the plastic feed. I adore the two-tone. I love the spade that's on the nib. It is just so, so cool. And if I can get, there we go. It is a proprietary cartridge system, but it does come with a branded cartridge and converter. Well, I don't think the cartridge is branded, but the converter certainly is. You can't eyedropper or convert it because of all the metal, but it does have a decent weight, so if you did eyedropper convert, it would probably be pretty heavy. The grip section does flare out so that you don't have too much. Ink can sometimes catch in here when you fill it up, but that happens with a good amount of pens. I really do love the way that this sits in my hand. It sits really nicely. It does have enough weight where, it doesn't feel like you've got to grip it to death. So it does fit really, really nicely. The threads are almost non-existent as far as feeling goes. And it fits so comfortably in my hand. It really is the perfect pen. It doesn't post super deep, but it's not likely gonna fly off, but I don't really recommend it because then it's super, super long and really back weighted. So I really do love this pen. But why am I selling it? Well, let's chat about that as I bring over some paper. As always, I'm using my Galen Leather Tomoe River 52 GSM. So why am I trying to sell this pen? I am trying to sell it because I need to cut down the amount of pens that I have, and I just don't use this one very often. And I know I mentioned that in another video years later, my Pelikan M805 Streisman, or however you pronounce that. Somebody did put in the comments how I pronounce that, but I forget already because I'm a dodo brain. But I don't have any sentimental value to this pen. And I think that's part of the reason why I want to get rid of it. Because it's not like I want to get rid of it because it's a bad pen. It's a phenomenal pen. And part of me doesn't want to get rid of it because, like I said, it's one of those few pens that just fits so perfectly in my hand. Weight, size, everything. I know that I can't easily rebuy it if I regret that decision later. But I don't use it enough to justify keeping it in a collection where I have so many other inks. Wow, I was about to say I'm inking it up with James Purdy and Sons cigar from Mont Blanc, in case you're wondering. This bottle is really cool. It's like all blacked out. But yeah, so I can't justify when I have so many pens and I just don't use this very often. I just can't justify keeping it in my collection any longer because I don't use it very much. And unlike, the Straussman that I don't have a sentimental value. If you want to know what that sentimental value is for the Pelican, go watch that video. But I just don't have that for this pen. All right, so the traditional sentence as always. This is a medium nib. Again, the ink is Mont Blanc. James Purdy and Son cigar. It is a fairly stiff nib. You can coax out some. But while you're writing, you don't get much of a bounce, I would say, especially if you're used to like the Pilot Custom 74. Check out those reviews that I've done and that years later review if you want to see like a pen that really, really, really goes with your writing. This is a fairly wet writing pen. I did just ink it up, so it's a little bit wetter than it normally is, but it is a solid. Actually, it feels really nice reverse writing. I never really do that, so like outside of these reviews, I forget. This pen is awesome. Like I said, I think this is an amazing pen. And I don't really want to get rid of it, but I'm trying not to be a hoarder. I'm trying really, really hard not to become a fountain pen hoarder. And I just, unfortunately, don't have a sentimental reason to keep this pen. While I think it is absolutely like a pen that I would love to keep if I didn't have the desire to be a little bit more minimalistic in my fountain pen collection, I would keep it. And like I said, I'm a little bit torn. But at the end of the day, a pen needs to be used. And I just don't use this very often anymore. So years later, do I still love it? Do I still recommend it? The answer is yes and yes. Absolutely, yes and yes. Don't let the fact that I am selling this pen be a determining factor for you not wanting to get it if you could find one secondhand. Or to be honest, even a regular, one of the newer Duofolds, you don't necessarily have to get this older version. Don't let that be a determining factor because I am only selling it because I have too many fountain pens. That is it. I still highly recommend this fountain pen because it is awesome. So guys, hit that like button if you want to see more. Hit the subscribe if you don't want to miss every Monday and Friday and the Rando Tuesday videos that pop up. Check out the description below for the Patreon account if you want to help support me and what I do here. And as always, if you're still watching this far in, you are the reason I make these videos. I will see you next time. Bye. Well, all right. Today it is time to say thank you to all of my Patreons. I am so grateful for you. Today is July 3rd, so if you do not see or hear your name, just be patient. I update it as soon as I can. So for our ultimate human, we got Daniel Roddy. And then for my VIPs, we have Glenn Kelly, Joan Worthman, Brian Hunter, Aaron C., Luna Wolf Games, Bobby A. Bailey, Bass, Weilei Chang, Brian Law, Lucas Bell, Aubrey Madcourt, Marissa Calvo, Eric Lineman, Jessica Chow, Stephen Baldwin, Carol Lowry, Michael Simon, Sean Sturdy, Catherine Molina, Robert Myers, Bill Pemberton, Karen Epstein, Gretchen Peters, Subi1 Kenobi, Bianca Andrews, and DigitalTent.tech. And lastly, but not least, McCall Bennett Lawrence. So thank you to everyone, no matter the tier you're in, whether it's bottom or top, does not matter. You all make what I do here possible. Thank you.